Good morning, and thank you for joining us for our weekly press conference. Today, we have 3 topics. First is Welcoming Week. It's also the longest topic. Second is donations from Gary Sinise Foundation to the Erie Police Department and the Erie Fire Department. And third is recognition of the Erie Metro team's win over the county squad in the 8th annual Save an Eye All-Star football game. So first is the 2023 Welcoming Week. It's an annual event which this year runs for 10 days from tomorrow, September 8th, through Sunday, September 17th. Throughout this week, world, national, and local communities like Erie come together to celebrate our diversity, advance inclusion, and bring people of different backgrounds together. As you know, my vision for Erie is to make Erie a community of choice where we celebrate our rich cultural diversity, our welcoming, vibrant neighborhoods, our world-class downtown and bayfront, our excellent education for everyone, and our abundance of good family-sustaining jobs. There is no better way to celebrate the rich cultural diversity than by recognizing our community of immigrants, refugees, and new Americans and helping all of them to succeed. One way we do that is through my administration's New American Council, which is made up of refugees, immigrants, new Americans, and leaders of various agencies in Erie that serve those who now call Erie home. They are all working together to share information about issues, needs, and resources to make Erie much more welcoming. We have many guests today, as you can see, and they will explain how welcoming Erie is. We will begin with ANJALI SAHAY. Dr. SAHAY is Professor of International Relations and Political Science here at Gannon University. She also serves as the Director of the School of Public Service and Global Affairs and she is a member of my New American Council as well. Dr. SAHAY, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. It's an honor to be here with this amazing group of leaders who make a priority out of helping Erie's immigrant community. In a moment, you'll hear from a friend of mine about those benefits, but I'd like to mention an upcoming panel discussion at Gannon that fits with today's Welcoming Week theme. The International Day of Democracy, September 15th, is being celebrated at Gannon University as a part of the College of Humanities, Education, and Social Sciences speaker series titled Find Your Voice. Our panel discussion on International Day of Democracy will be held on Friday, September 15th from 12 to 1:30 in Gannon's Waldron Campus Center in room 219. The panel includes both faculty and student participants. They will discuss several topics, including democracy in our current international political climate, the United Nations' involvement in democratic struggles worldwide, American democracy, political activism on campus, and various other things. I hope you can join us for these enlightening, timely discussions. Now, I'd like to bring up my friend, Bipin Shrestha, who is a new restaurant owner of Erie Curry House on Peach Street. Bipin, would you like to say a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. Hello, my name is Bipin and I am originally from Nepal. I came to Erie to join my wife who was in Erie. Erie is a small city but has a good community and is welcoming. It is easy to get around to do any work, business or shopping because everything is in 15 miles radius. It was easy for me to set up my business, Erie Curry House, in the city. I hope you come sometime and enjoy our delicious Nepalese, Bhutanese and Indian cuisine. We are located at 3740 Peach Street. Thank you.
And congratulations on starting your own business, Bipin. That's really wonderful. I look forward to trying some of your food sometime soon. And thank you also to Dr. SAHAY for serving on our New American Council and for all you do to welcome new residents here to Erie. Thank you very much. Next up is Laura Domensic. Laura is the Executive Director of the Erie Art Museum. Laura will share details about an exciting exhibit in honor of Welcoming Week. Laura?
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to let everyone know that we are celebrating Welcoming Week at the Erie Art Museum with the current exhibition created by Peruvian artist Ana Balcazar. Anna was a visiting artist who had a residency at the museum from May until July of this year, which culminated in the exhibition Entre Plantas y Mujeres, which means Between Plants and Women, and will be on display at the museum until May of 2024. 2 new exhibits are opening next week on September 15th. One is Las Calles de Oaxaca, the Streets of Oaxaca, featuring Mexican artists, and the other is Revolucion Chicha and features Peruvian artists. Both exhibits showcase indigenous cultures and artistic activism. We are so grateful for Erie's immigrant, refugee, and new American community, and we will continue to highlight their artistic contributions along with international contributions currently and soon to be on display. We invite you to stop by to check out the beautiful artwork. September 15th is a gallery night, and the museum is free to visitors between 5 and 10 p.m. Our next free admission day, sponsored by UPMC Health Plan, is on Sunday, October 15th. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Laura. I am very happy to hear that the Erie Art Museum continues to make a priority of displaying the artwork of cultures represented by our residents. My wife Rhonda and I enjoy gallery night events, and we plan to stop by to see all this beautiful artwork coming. We now move from the Art Museum to the Erie Metropolitan Transit Authority, or EMTA for short, which manages Erie's bus system. Dave Robinson, EMT's Director of Governmental and Community Relations, also served on our New American Council. Dave, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor Sember. Good morning, everyone. You know, figuring out the bus system in any city is challenging, particularly when there's language barriers and you're new. At EMTA, we really value our immigrant, refugee, and new American riders, and we support them in several different ways. We provide translation support on all pages of our website. We offer group and individual travel trainings that teach riders how to use the system. All seniors of any origination ride free once they obtain a senior pass. These passes are available to everyone age 65 and up and can be used statewide. Finally, as the mayor mentioned, EMTA participates in the New American Council, where we receive input and identify challenges in an ongoing way. Thank you.
And Dave, thank you very much as well. We all know how important transportation is to everyone, and we are very glad that the bus system is so welcoming to our residents. Thank you very much for that. We appreciate all you do to ensure our public transportation system is accessible to everyone. Next, we will take a moment about new Americans and voting. 10 times per year, I attend a citizen swearing-in ceremony at the federal courthouse. In fact, we have one coming up next week. I love and always get on a high welcoming Erie's newest citizens here. 10 times per year, new American swearing-in connects me back to my dad's parents who came here from Sicily and my mom's parents who came here from Ireland. With us today is Lucy Vasoa Krupitz, in the League of Women Voters Erie chapter. Lucy, you and I have attended and spoken at many citizenship ceremonies together. Please tell us about your experience with life in America and your work with Erie County League of Women Voters.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning. When my family came to America from Italy, we settled in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I moved to Erie in 1970 when I was married. At first, I thought Erie was really too small and rather strange. People you didn't even know would come up and say hi and talk to you. Very different from D.C. Neighbors would come and welcome us to the neighborhood when we moved into our house. They'd bring us food, tell us about the history of our house, the things we should do in the neighborhood. I discovered that Erie has a thriving music, theater, and arts community, and I didn't even have to commute to get to it. Erie was so ingratiating that when my husband's employer moved out of state, we chose to give up our job rather than move. 2 of my grown children who had moved away have chosen to move back to Erie now that they can work remotely. I can personally attest that Erie is a very welcoming city and often, unfortunately, underappreciated. But I'm here today also representing the League of Women Voters of Erie County. The League is a nonpartisan organization whose mission is to encourage and empower informed, active participation in government. We attend naturalization ceremonies, we register voters, we hold informational events, and try to be there for any assistance that a voter might need. You can contact us through our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/LWVErie, or email us at lwverie@gmail.com. Thank you.
Good job, Lucy, and thank you very much for everything you and the League of Women Voters do to make immigrants and refugees feel at home here in Erie and educate us all about the election process. As Lucy knows, our new citizens have an important right and duty. TONIA FERNANDEZ, Erie County's Director of Elections, will now tell us more about that. TONIA?
Thank you, Mayor, for having me here today. We in the Erie County Elections Office are happy to recognize Welcoming Week and all of our refugees, immigrants, and new Americans in the city of Erie and in Erie County by reminding them that voting is a right and a privilege of being a citizen of the United States. And I hope, Mayor, when you attend those citizen ceremonies that you encourage our new citizens to register to vote. Every citizen over the age of 18 should register to vote. To do so, you just need to complete a voter registration form. You can find a paper application at any library, any government agency, or our voter registration office, which is in room 112 in the Erie County Courthouse, 140 West 6th Street, or you can visit vote.pa.gov to register online. At our office, we have voter registration forms written in Spanish, Chinese, and Vietnamese. Unfortunately, we do not have our actual ballots in those languages, so we encourage voters to bring a translator to the polls if one is required. Once your registration has been processed, you will receive a voter ID card from our office that can be used as a form of ID the first time you go to your poll. Staff from our office are always happy to help with any questions or concerns. Find us on the Erie County website, eriecountypa.gov, or call us at 814-451-6275.
And TONIA, thank you also very much for being here with us today. This should get out to all of our new citizens. It's important that more and more of our citizens pay attention to our elections and exercise their right to vote. And yes, TONIA, I do speak at every swearing in of the new Americans at the federal courthouse. I always encourage, there's usually 50 who are just sworn in, to get registered to vote before they leave the courthouse. We will now finish this portion of the news conference with a word from our 3 agencies in Erie that help to resettle our immigrant and refugee communities. Many people do not realize that refugees fleeing persecution due to their religious beliefs, ethnicity, politics, or war must leave their homes with little more than the clothes that they are wearing. They must often leave behind everything they own, and in some cases, the education and professional experience they have earned do not transfer. Imagine having to flee your home and everyone you know and everything you own to come to a community where you don't even know the language. Everyone is new, and you have to start over to make a new life for yourself and your family. That is why organizations like the International Institute of Erie, the Multicultural Resource Center, and Catholic Charities are vital to our community. First up next is Grant Philbeck, Program Director for the Community Integration at the Erie office of the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants, otherwise known as the International Institute. Grant, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. The Erie Field Office of the U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants, or the USCRI, is proud of the role that we play in the Erie community. Erie has been a welcoming city since, I apologize, I screwed that up. Since our founding, the International Institute, over 100 years ago at the end of the First World War, we have heard stories from all the time from people who are grateful for how the International Institute welcomed their parents or grandparents to make a new life in Erie after surviving the horrors of war, persecution, or genocide. Today, USCRI Erie offers the most comprehensive resettlement services for newcomers in the region, helping them become self-sufficient and integrated into the fabric of this Great Lakes community. Our services include English language instruction, preparation for employment, cultural orientation, children's school enrollment, and a team of interpreters representing over 25 languages. You can reach us at 814-452-3935 or at info@uscri-erie.org. Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for proclaiming this to be Welcoming Week and demonstrating on how people in this community have opened their hearts to new neighbors from around the world. Erie is stronger for its immigrant heritage and stronger with a new generation that aims for the American dream right here in northwestern Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much, Grant. And if you haven't noticed, we're now more than halfway through all the speakers. So thanks also to everything that the USCRI does for Erie immigrants. I am proud that Erie police officers and firefighters visit USCRI monthly to participate in refugee orientation programs where our newest residents learn essentials about how our firefighters and our police officers are here to help them. Next, we will hear from Katie Kretz, Executive Director of the Multi-Community Resource Center, Multicultural Community Resource Center, easier to say as MCRI. Katie, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having us today. Hi, I'm Katie Kretz, Executive Director of MCRC, the Multicultural Community Resource Center. Whether it's starting a new job, changing schools or neighborhoods, we've all had that moment where we felt like we didn't belong. For those who moved to this country, this experience can last more than a moment. From language barriers to cultural differences, feeling excluded can take years to overcome. Yet, we all know how to make people feel like they belong. And when that happens, communities can fully harness the strengths and talents and the contributions of each person to build shared prosperity. As we honor the contributions of refugees and immigrants, and we celebrate our city's diversity, we're reminded by Welcoming Week that our communities are stronger and more prosperous when they are welcoming. As a community, Erie fully embraces new Americans and their contributions to the social fabric of our city. And as an organization, MCRC is committed to the prosperity and inclusion of our multicultural community members by assisting them reach their self-sufficiency and improve economic, physical, and or social well-being. This Welcoming Week in 2023, let's all be reminded that each and every one of us has the power to help others, regardless of their background, to feel like they are seen, embraced, welcomed, and included in our communities. Before I finish, I'd like to introduce Ahmed Al-Tahir, who is a refugee from Sudan. Ahmed?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Katie. Originally, I'm from Sudan. I arrived here in Erie from Jordan almost 3 months ago. We live in a world where people have no option but to flee their homes and countries and rely on the kindness of a stranger to help them start again. The Maya and support services here have been very welcoming. I want to thank MCRC staff for the warm welcome and the opportunity to work for them. I will continue to welcome and assist new arrivals getting started on their new lives in the city of Erie. Thank you.
Ahmed, thank you very much. It is really wonderful to welcome you here to Erie. Best of luck to you and everything that you will achieve here during your lifetime. And thank you, Katie. We appreciate all you do to serve new arrivals in Erie who need help getting on their feet and in many cases completely starting their lives over again. Last but not least is Saidullah Tariqi, President of the Afghan Community of Erie and Case Manager for Catholic Charities Counseling and Adoption Services, which is part of the Erie Catholic Diocese. Catholic Charities helps to serve newly arrived immigrants and refugees. Saidullah, would you like to say a few words next?
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. After the collapse of the Afghan government, Afghans like me who supported the U.S. mission in Afghanistan came to the United States during the U.S.-led evacuation. About 80 Afghan families have settled here in Erie. I and my family came here just about 1 year ago, on September 15, 2022. I have never heard about Erie before coming here. The day I arrived with my family, I witnessed a warm welcome by my caseworker and the Catholic Charities Agency. Soon, I realized that Erie is one of the most places to live, the best places. Erie is a welcoming city to every immigrant. You will feel home here in Erie. It is affordable. It has many jobs for immigrants, and your children are in good hands. Freedom of speech, education, and health systems are welcomed. And the weather is amazing. Every season has its own beauty. Work hard and live a peaceful life here in Erie. My family and I received love and respect from our neighbors, and we were able to open the first ever Afghan Community Center in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We have received help from different people and organizations, including you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for that. We are grateful to the personal donation you made to the Afghan Community Center. There are a lot of services for immigrants. The resettlement agencies are welcoming the new arrivals. They make sure that the house and all the living items are ready before the arrival date. Catholic Charities helps the immigrants to apply for government benefits. The agency also provides cultural orientations, bus trainings, and English as a second language classes. One of the main tasks of the agencies are to make sure that the immigrants are self-sufficient. Agencies like Catholic Charities help Erie immigrants to achieve that goal. These are just a few ways that Erie is a welcoming community, and I am grateful to be part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saidullah. We are very grateful that you came to Erie and stayed here. You are making a difference for so many other people. We really appreciate you and all you do. Thanks again. All these fine people that you heard from today so far exemplify how we are on a mission to build opportunity, restore hope, and transform Erie for all of our residents. Because if it is not for all of us, it is not for any of us. Our community will be successful when everyone is valued for their unique skills, talents, and perspectives, and is empowered to use their experience and knowledge to serve our community. Everyone is valued, everyone is welcome, everyone can contribute to making Erie the best place it can be. Now, I'll read our Welcoming Week proclamation. Let me grab that. So this is recognizing Welcoming Week here in the city of Erie, a place where we belong, whereas our city's success depends on ensuring that all Erie residents feel welcome here. New residents are a vital part of our community. They bring fresh perspectives and new ideas. They start businesses and contribute to Erie's rich cultural diversity, which we all value. Whereas we honor the spirit of unity that brings neighbors together across Erie. By working together, we can achieve greater prosperity and make our community the kind of place where diverse people from all around the world will feel valued and want to put down roots. Whereas, regardless of where we are born or what we look like, We are residents of Erie. We are united in our efforts to build a better community. We recognize everyone's contribution in helping foster our vibrant culture and our growing community. This is a great opportunity to come together and build a community where every resident can feel welcome and experience a sense of belonging. Now, therefore, I, Joseph E. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, hereby proclaim the days from September 8th, tomorrow, to September 17th as Welcoming Week 2023. During this Welcoming Week, I invite all Erie residents to join this movement of communities nationwide by renewing our commitment to our core American values and by taking action in the spirit of welcoming. Let us all continue to make Erie a most inclusive place for everyone. Happy Welcoming Week, everyone. Can we have a little round of applause for that? Thank you. And next we want to spend just a few minutes talking about a famous actor who will be in Erie next Monday, September 11th. To introduce that actor, I want you all to meet Sean Percio, who is an Erie resident, a Marine Corps veteran, and who serves on the Gary Sinise Foundation Advisory Board. Sean, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor, for giving me a moment to talk to you about Gary Sinise. The Gary Sinise Foundation First Responder Appreciation Day, which will be held, as you said, on Monday, September 11th. As you may know, Gary Sinise is well known for portraying Lieutenant Dan in the 1994 hit Tom Hanks movie, Forrest Gump. But Gary really likes to be known for his foundation, which honors police, fire, first responders, and the military. As part of his Appreciation Day in Erie on Monday, there will be a golf tournament with a celebrity auction, a car cruise on State Street featuring TV celebrity and car builder Chip Foose. And the Lieutenant Dan Band will perform for free at 8 p.m. on Monday evening at the Liberty Park Highmark Amphitheater. Donations will be collected at the car cruise and the concert. Proceeds from all three events will go to the Gary Sinise Foundation, which will give $150,000 on Monday to several local law enforcement and first responder agencies. In fact, the Erie Fire Department will receive $29,330 for automated external defibrillators and forcible entry training simulator, hoses for fire fighting high-rise fires. The Erie Police Department will receive $32,500 for 5 electric bicycles used by their bike patrol unit. They'll be on display on Monday's concert at Liberty Park. On behalf of the Gary Sinise Foundation, I'm thrilled that we can give back in this way to the men and women who put their lives on the line every day for this community. So come down to Liberty Park next Monday, show your appreciation, hear the Lieutenant Dan Band rock out. It's going to be a great show. Thank you, Mayor.
Wow, Sean. First, thank you for your service. We appreciate that. And second, special thanks for helping to organize Monday's events, for working with our fire and police departments. We are grateful to Gary Sinise for his commitment to our first responders and to you for helping to build this relationship. We really appreciate it. I'll see you again on Monday night at 8 p.m. at Liberty Park. We will now complete this news conference with some special hardware, apparently. Becca Swick is the outreach coordinator for the Site Center of Northwest Pennsylvania, and Bob Sensor Jr. is the president of the Erie Lions Club. Would both of you mind stepping up here and explain what's going on?
Sure. Mayor, we have a trophy to present to you, but we'll get to that in a moment. The mission of the Erie Lions Club is to provide eye care and associated services for needy children and adults in Erie County. To raise money for this charity, in 1939, the club began the Save an Eye All-Star High School football game. The game used to be played between players on teams from the city versus players from the county schools. Now the game is played between teams, which we call the Metro and the County. The Metro teams are McDowell, Erie High, Mercyhurst Prep, Cathedral Prep, Iroquois, Harbor Creek, and Fairview. The county teams are Northeast, Northwestern, Girard, Seneca, Union City, Corry, Fort LaBeouf, and General McLean. The most recent game, played in July and won by the Metro squad 29-15, was the 85th in the series dating back to 1939. It's the second oldest charity high school football game in the country. The oldest is played in the Scranton area and coincidentally is also sponsored by a local Lions club. This year's game raised nearly $40,000. Since the game's inception, the Erie Lions Club has provided millions of dollars for eye care for needy people in the Erie region. The Erie Lions Club provides tens of thousands of dollars each year for vision screening for grade school children. We also contribute to Envision Sports Camp, which is a sports camp for blind athletes, and Beacon Lodge, which is a summer camp for visually impaired children. Additionally, we've purchased 2 Braille notebook computers for visually impaired students at a cost of $5,000 each. And we provide eyeglasses and examinations for people in emergency situations. And I'm going to add a few comments, Mayor. We'd like to present the trophy to you. And I just have a closing comment. My father is Tycho Swick. Many of you know him and love him. For more than half a century, Tycho tirelessly served as game manager of the Save and I All-Star football game in Erie. As executive director of the Sight Center for 46 years, known then as Erie Center for the Blind, he dedicated his entire professional career to saving eyesight, preventing blindness, and helping those with vision loss to remain strong and independent. I am more than proud of him. More proud of him than I could ever express, and I am honored to follow in his footsteps by working to crush preventable blindness in America by preventing type 2 diabetes at the Sight Center. Tycho sends his sincere gratitude to everyone in our community who has supported or participated in the Save and I game over the years. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, with the Metro team's win, we'd like to present you with that Save an Eye trophy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bob and Becca. Appreciate it. We'll display this trophy somewhere here at City Hall where everyone can see it who comes to visit me. Thank you for joining us here today and for shedding light on this very important topic as well. For many people, sight is taken for granted. If you have it, you may not rise to the top of your list as a funding priority, but for those who are not so fortunate, you can imagine what an incredibly vital need it is. I want to add something that's not in the script here with regard to my sight. As a kid growing up, I never realized I had a sight problem until I started going to school. At my first year at Sacred Heart Grade School, the teachers realized I couldn't see the board. I didn't know there was a board there to look at. And they told my parents. My parents took me to an eye doctor, and I got glasses, and it's incredible how much more I can see now with the glasses. The first thing I do every morning when I get up is put my glasses on. The last thing I do every night when I go to bed is take them off. So this really transformed my life. I didn't realize people had faces and things like that. So it's very, very nice. So, and by the way, we do appreciate your dedication to ensure that support service exists for those who are blind and visually impaired. Thanks to the commitment of the Lions Club, you have been able to provide over $3 million in eye care to thousands of children since the club's inception back in 1923. That's amazing. That's 100 years. On behalf of all those families, thank you. And congratulations to the Metro team for taking home the win. Well, we have had quite a huge press conference today. Thanks to everyone who took part in it. Can we have a big round of applause again for everyone? Thank you very much. Again, Happy Welcoming Week. And I'm looking forward to seeing Lieutenant Dan Band Monday at Liberty Park. Remember, the gates open at 6 p.m. and Lieutenant Dan Band takes the stage at 8 p.m. That concludes this week's press conference. Please continue to follow us on social media for the latest updates on everything happening here in the city of Erie. Everyone who spoke is now available for interviews. That may take a while, but thanks very much for being here, and thanks to everyone for watching as well. Took us about 35 minutes today. That's a long press conference.